Give me a second. I usually don't use this computer, so bear with me. I have to look it up. Hello, everyone. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I'm still looking for myself. It's taking a while. Move this out of the way so that it's not coming up. So that I can see the chat. And um, there it is. Make sure I turn this thing on. Okay. Hello, FMC Clarkin Life. I hope I said that right. Hello, Full Circle Chick. How you doing? So, y'all know that it's planting season, right? If you don't know me, my name is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I have a small homestead out here in the suburbia, and I also have one out in the woods. I have everything from goats on down to quail. I don't have every animal, but I do have a lot of birds. So let me name a few: quail, chickens, ducks, Muscovy ducks, geese. I have some silkies, and I have two turkeys, a male and a female. I also have sheep, goats, rabbits, and dogs. So I have a whole bunch of animals. And in the morning, I mean, I just did a video, be coming out soon, as soon as it loads. It's a lot of work to do that. You hear that behind me? That's chicks. I believe that you should try to do as much for yourself as possible. Yesterday, I did something bad and I went out there and I bought some food from a fast food restaurant. And when I got home, I was sick. I guess my body is not used to that stuff anymore. I don't know if you all have the same experience, but if you're not used to eating that type of food, processed food, it affects you badly. So today we are going to plant one or two, maybe two of my favorite things. And because it's my favorite thing, I harvest my own seeds. Guess what it is, y'all? And it's a summer crop. And I'm in Texas in zone 9A. Y'all know what those seeds are? Those are okra seeds. And we're going to plant those in here. These are from last year or the year before. I have a lot of okra seeds. I didn't say what type of okra seeds they were. It's probably Clemson spineless, but I don't know. That's what I normally grow is Clemson spineless because I don't want to get all poked up. I love okra. I'm the type of person who can eat okra directly off the vine. I will eat it raw. That's how much I like okra. And I don't know. I know that it's good for me because I know that it's good for me because I feel good after I eat that type of food versus last night. And I knew better, right? I was on my way home from the the property that is in the woods, right? I was on my way home and I was like, oh, I don't feel like cooking anything once I get home. I'm just gonna pick up something on the way. Oh my gosh. There's a lot of people who don't want, who ask questions and say that, how could you do that? I can't grow my own stuff. How could you cull your own livestock? And how could you do this? And how could you do that? I would prefer to do that and grow my own food than to buy something from the supermarket. And this has not, I don't, recently, I haven't gotten sick from anything at the supermarket. But last night, definitely did not feel good. Definitely. I just wasted my money and I made myself sick. So I'm just gonna stick to what I know. Growing my own stuff. Yes, I do grow a lot of my food. I do not grow all of it because it's almost impossible to do that. But there are certain things that I shouldn't be buying. I don't know about you, like French fries. You can make those at home. And I don't know if it was the French fries or the chicken. Yeah, I bought some chicken last night. I don't know if it was the French fries or the chicken or maybe the soda because I don't drink soda. All I know is I was bad off for about a good hour or two after I ate that. My system just doesn't accept it like I do. I usually eat at home. I don't go out to eat very much, um, especially fast food. And I'm starting to do it less and less, especially when it's not working. I'm wasting my money. Hello, sweet time. How you doing? Miss Sweet Time, oh, excuse me, Mr. Sweet Time, have to grow more okra so some goals actually make it inside. I get it. Oh, I grow a lot of it, and I grow a lot, so I have enough to get it. My thing when growing okra, especially with clamps and spineless, is that you can't wait. You gotta harvest okra before it goes woody, and it can go woody overnight. So if once you see it and it looks like it's ready, go ahead and pick it. Don't wait for it to get bigger. That's a mistake that I have made over and over again. Clemson spineless. Now there is motherland okra that gives you a little bit more time, and there may be other okras that I don't know about, but I know that motherland okra will give you more time than Clemson spineless. Clemson spineless, get it. Pick it as soon pick it every day. That's my thing. Sometimes twice a day. We don't want it to go woody. And if it goes woody, and if it goes woody at the excuse me, if it goes woody at the beginning of the season, that's not good. But at the end of the season, if it goes woody, I don't get too sad. I hope I didn't put it there in my coffee. I don't get too upset about it. I don't. At the end of the season, that's how I get all these seeds. But at the beginning of the season, it'll slow down your the growth of your crop. So once they go woody at the beginning of the season, I take them off anyway. Drop them to the ground because it'll slow down. The plant will think, that's it. I've done what I need to do. I cut them off, even if they go woody at the beginning of the season. End of the season, I leave them there. So these are my okra seeds from my garden, right up there. And because it's mine, I am going to put 2 seeds per pod. I can afford to do that because I invested in these seeds one time or maybe 2 times. Maybe, yeah, I might have bought them twice when I first started out because I didn't know no better. If you get something like bell pepper, right? If you get something, these are bell peppers from the supermarket, or I might have mixed my peppers up. I see sorrel seeds in here. I see that little red thing says I put a scotch bonnet in here. If you get seeds, if you buy a bell pepper, try to grow them because if the season was sure, you're gonna get some bell peppers. I learned that last year because I was testing out a guy, but I know for a fact that these seeds work. My seeds, if you grow plants and they get acclimated to your environment, you are probably put four in there. It's probably going to grow better every year. Every year it's going to grow better. I believe in the power of the seed. I'm not trying to rush through this, but I'm just doing, I might do a couple of bell pepper seeds because I don't think I planted enough bell peppers. You hear them crying? I'm gonna cover them up. They're getting on my last nerve. Just a moment, y'all. They're getting big. I need to put them outside. Mm-hmm. Good night. That's what I do then when I don't want to be bothered. So they'll be quiet in a minute because they don't want it to get dark. I'll turn out the lights and they start screaming or chirping. That's what chicks are. Chicks are like that. I'm hatching too. I have one silky that had hatched. That's all I had out here until today. I released some chicks into the yard. I'm growing everything I can. And it's not because I'm afraid or because that's just what I like to do. First of all, gardening is my hobby. Raising animals is a part of my hobby. It's just a hobby that pays dividends. I get something from it. And if you can do that or get that mindset, well then you're happier doing it sometimes. You know, working, doing a job that you like is totally different than doing something that you don't want to do because you have to. And I'm not saying I don't have to, but I don't want to get sick like last night. I don't want to go through that. I don't want to rely on somebody else to cook my food. The same people who say, "Oh Lord, I couldn't do that," will go out and eat from these dirty restaurants. I don't know if their food was old or what. All I know is I got sick last night. I won't do that again. No time soon. Uh, Urban backyard container gardening. How you doing? When I grow stuff from, did I miss anything? Did I miss anybody? If I grow stuff in my backyard or I have my own animals that I process, I'm responsible for the sanitary aspect of growing it, processing it, and cooking it. I This thing keeps giving me the business, and I don't want to sign in this Apple. I don't want to leave it to somebody else. I don't. I don't. I have trust issues. Trust- I trust me more. I trust God first of all. Get that straight. I'm not perfect, and God is still working on me. I have my thing, but I trust God first of all, and then I trust me, and then everybody else got to earn it daily. They might drop your food on the floor. You don't know what these people are doing. And we have gotten away from doing things for ourselves. Everybody got tricked into, my family included, because my family come from the country, but Jamaica. They come from the country part of Jamaica, the Montego Bay side. Everybody got tricked into moving into these HOAs and these big cities from the farm where they had more freedom. And now we're afraid to do our own thing, and we leave in, not us as gardeners. I know a lot of us are not doing it. We're leaving it to strangers to process, no, to grow, to process, and cook our food in a lot of instances. That's why a lot of us are coming up with some strange things that we didn't have years ago because we're being exposed to stuff. Sometimes it's unsanitary, sometimes it's old food, sometimes it's just chemicals in the food that your body can't take anymore or could never take. Some of the stuff is not meant to be ate, like plastic. They're saying that we have a lot of more plastics in our bodies than our grandparents. And that's because they're drinking water out of plastic bottles. And plastic is, I'm not against plastic, but plastic is on everything, including this tray. So, and then there's aluminum. They wrap your hamburger in aluminum foil, or they wrap your hot dog or your pizza in aluminum foil. And aluminum is known to cause, you not dementia. And we're being exposed to so many things because we don't do things at home. And I, for one, would like to keep my memory intact and my health intact as much as possible. So last night taught me another good lesson. Live and learn. I knew better though. I was just being lazy, and I know a lot of us are like that. And then I paid for it almost immediately. Almost immediately, I got home and I said, "Oh my gosh!" I was in the bathroom, and the way it went in is the same way it came out. I couldn't digest it. It was bad. It was bad food, and I'm just glad that my body rejected it that quickly, and that it didn't go completely. Maybe all some of it went through my system, but most of it came straight out. If you eat well and you grow your own food, example, if you don't eat sugar and you start and you taste sugar again, it'll sting your tongue. I know because I was on keto, and I still don't care for bread that much. So your body gets used to a certain quality of food, and then when you try to do, like, example, bodybuilders go on diets all the time where they eat clean for a long time. They can't just turn around and eat a pizza, which is probably what I did last night. That's the equivalent of what I did last night. And man, mm-mm, no. So, I mean, there's a lot of people saying, you need to grow food because of prices and all that. No, you need to grow food because of health. It'll help if you already have something. It'll help you a lot, and you'll be in control of what's in your food. You can't be in control of everything nowadays because we can't grow everything. We have to put some things into their hands. Like I buy oils and seasonings, but you know, at least I know something is real. How do I know last night that the chicken I ate was actual chicken that came from an egg that hatched? It might have been something that was grown in a lab, and my body knew the difference. Or somebody wasn't do didn't maybe they sat it out too much in the heat, and it had some kind of bacteria. I don't know. Cuz I didn't grow it. I didn't hatch it. I didn't grow it. I didn't process it. I didn't cook it. I left a lot of stuff in the hands of somebody else. And that, I'm not going to say I'm never going to do that again, but I'm just going to limit the amount of the amount of the amount of times that I eat out. I remember my mom was real funny about that, because my aunt, her sister, ate at a barbecue and developed colitis. I was like, we can't point the finger and say that those people, it was a barbecue, those people did something to her, but she got sick soon thereafter, and for the rest of her life she had colitis. It's a bacteria that got into her system and her body couldn't fight it off. God forbid. My mom wouldn't eat from nobody. She carried crackers with her, and she carried food from the house. She said she trusts the supermarket more than she trusts most of the restaurants. She had a few restaurants that she would eat from, and I would go and I'd go to the store, and she's asked me where the food came from. If it wasn't from that one particular lady or somebody she knew, where she could see their kitchen, she wouldn't eat it. I'm getting that way too. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to, because they nobody cares about you more than you. That's like not loving yourself and asking someone to love you more than you love yourself. Doesn't make any sense. You got to love you first. And part of loving yourself is not being lazy like I was last night and paying for it. I mean, that's just that was terrible. I don't like being sick. And I don't like um not knowing why I'm sick. If I sit some chicken out in the sink and I let it sit there a little too long, well, that's a risk that I knew took. But I'm paying for this stuff, and I'm paying for what happened last night. And I was too far away from the restaurant to complain. And some people say report them, but it may have just been that the chicken was made in a lab, and they're not telling us half the stuff. It's just They could say it's just like they can say it's like honey is 100% honey when it has just 100% honey in it. It's things like that, a play on words. So I don't know, but I know that I ain't going back to that restaurant again. I'm not gonna eat out for a while because that made a lasting impression on me. I'm already afraid to eat out. I was raised that way to cook your food at home. It saves you a lot of money. It not only saves you a lot of money because what did I spend like 10.50 for that, and you know how much food I could have bought a pack of chicken, a bag of rice. I could have bought some vegetables with that because my vegetable garden isn't ready yet. And I could have ate 4, 5 times on that versus me eating one time on that little $10.50 and being sick. And not even being sick, not even be able to hold it down, paying to make you to hurt yourself. I don't know. Maybe I'm preaching to the choir, or I'm waking somebody up because it could have been far worse than that. I could have ended up sicker than that, not just in the bathroom, you know, getting rid of it. Let me see what's going on in the chat. Miss Sweet Time, no telling what was going on. Some 16-year old whose parents wouldn't even eat their food. Wow. Judith Sylvester said, hi, Jamerica, looking good and truly enjoying your journey. Thank you. Full Circle Chick says, yes, grow your own so you'll know where it's coming from. Sweet Mr. Sweet Time said, I stopped eating out back around 2008. Rarely ever buy it and cook it at home. Yes. You'll save a lot of money. First of all, you save a lot of money because it ain't cheap eating out. That's the first thing. Second of all, you're gonna be sick and you're gonna spend money going to the doctor, and that's money in and of itself. That's an expense that no one thinks about. That stuff, some of it. Not, I'm not saying all restaurants are like that because there are probably some good ones out there, but the restaurant is only as good as the employees who are cooking it, because you can take good ingredients. You can take, say they took some roast beef or some ground beef, and the beef was high quality beef, and then they just sat it out on the counter and the temperature dropped too much and the bacteria multiplied. You just don't know. Or pork or chicken or fish. You can't just leave that stuff out. There's a temperature, there's temperature controls for food. And if you're not maintaining it, and I have worked in an industrial kitchen. You ever go to some of them restaurants and go in that freaking kitchen, you'll never want to eat out again. And these are, I'm not saying I was at the best, but if even at the best one, all the chef is doing quality control, right? There's chefs, there's sous chefs, executive chefs, there's different types of chefs. They're doing quality control. The line cooks are struggling to keep up, especially at those busy restaurants. And when we were in the kitchen, that place was a freaking mess. At the end of the night, oh my gosh. Cross contamination? You talking about cross contamination? Was, if you ever go to a restaurant and ask to go in the kitchen, they probably won't let you go in there. Your kitchen, your normal kitchen is probably cleaner looking, or cleaner, period, than some of those kitchens you're eating from. You got to be so careful. You got to be real careful. And in a and I like to be in places like last night. I didn't do that, but I like to go to restaurants where I can see into the kitchen. That's when I feel more comfortable because at least I can see the cleanliness. If they're wiping up behind themselves, say they process some chicken on the counter and then they go right behind it with some vegetables, or use a wooden board to cut up some chicken, and go right behind with some vegetable. That's cross contamination. Somebody can get sick from that. Seriously sick. You know, sick. So if you're cooking your own food, or if you have a family member that you trust to cook your own food, you're better off. And most likely your kitchen at home is cleaner than some of them, a lot of them restaurants, because they're struggling back there. They're just trying to keep their head above water. They may wipe up, but just wiping down a surface is not enough. You gotta sanitize that joker. And nobody ain't got time for that at dinner time when everybody's going to the restaurant or going to the steakhouse. They ain't got time for that. They just trying to maintain. They're trying to keep their job. They're trying to keep afloat until the end of the night. And I'm speaking from experience. We we would have, after we finished for the night, we would sanitize, and they use black light sometimes to sanitize the kitchen, or some restaurants hire a professional cleaning crew to come through every night and sanitize the kitchen just so they get a fresh start, because the longer that bacteria sits on the surface, the worse it is. So we would go through, man, we would go through a cleaner. Everything was metal, and we would wipe down those surfaces. No, granted, we had steel tables, and the a lot of the restaurants are like that, and that's because you can clean it easier. But all cooks ain't good cooks, and all kitchens ain't good kitchens, and all restaurant kitchens most likely are a mess. They're most likely struggling to keep up. They just are. They're cleaning up as best they can. So I prefer to stay at home and eat, especially since last night I had that experience, and I don't know if anybody else has done that. This is why we grow our stuff. This is why I grow my stuff. It's not necessarily to save money. It's so I first of all, I know it's real. I know that my chickens are walking around. Here come a quail. I'm calling them out. And my dog is out. She's probably gonna eat it. Um, I know that my quail and my chickens are walking around. I know that this okra is cut came from a plant. I know that my eggs came from a bird and not from something else. So I'm gonna get off my soapbox. I had a bad experience last night. Okra is my favorite. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. Okra is my favorite vegetable. Very favorite. I recommend that you grow what you I recommend that you grow. He's running away. I gotta get him before he get ate. The dogs like dogs. They eat them. They fly up out of there, and the dogs eat them. Um, I recommend that you grow what you like to eat, and you wash it off properly. Yeah, and you don't even have to use. That's another thing. You don't have to use a bunch of chemicals like you do. Like when I get stuff from the supermarket or something, I wash it off with baking soda sometimes. Just trying to get that waxy stuff off. I don't know what that waxy stuff is. Just trying to get that off. When I grow a bell pepper out here, I don't have to do that. All I do is rinse it off with some water, and I go ahead and cook it. I feel so much more at ease cooking the food from the backyard versus going to the supermarket and picking up a bell pepper that 10 other people have picked up and put down or spoke over or has been sprayed with something. I mean, it was not always like this. I remember a time when I was a little girl, we would get eggs that had the eye in it, which means they were fertilized eggs. That's not happening anymore. So it's just my take on it. Judith Sylvester, you are so right about the things that consumers are buying. We have to do more and stay informed and make changes by growing what we can. I agree. Mr. Sweet Time, I'm an okra lover as well. My family jokes with me because as a kid, I asked for more of that sticky stuff. It was just okra and cornbread. I love okra. I didn't like it as a kid, but I love it now. Who is this? Al Alima Jara? I can't say it. My stomach is giving me gas problems like gastritis. Not sure what vegetables good for like like your pancreas. I don't know. Grow it yourself because it might not be the vegetables. If you eating beans and you're not soaking them overnight, that'll give you gas. I know that. So when you do your beans, soak your beans, soak your beans. This doggone thing is taunting me. Soak your beans overnight, pour off that water, and then go ahead and put more water on it and cook it. I know that that's one of the tricks of the trades. with legumes, with the beans like red beans, black beans, black eyed peas, which is also called cow peas. And this thing has the nerve to be crying. Black eyed peas or kidney beans or pinto beans, those type of beans, those dried ones. But the rest of that stuff is probably coming from something that's on that joker. I don't have no problem. I don't have any problems with the vegetables I grow. I'm always skeptical when I buy 'em from the supermarket because they have that waxy stuff on it. I don't know what it is. It's like they take lard, and I know it's not lard, or petroleum, and put it on top of the cucumbers. They're all slippery, and it freaks me out. That's why I grow my own. um, Almajara says I like kidney beans. Yes, make sure you soak them overnight. Pour that water off, and then use them. Netta's Nest, how you doing? So we were talking about growing our favorite things and growing what we eat so that we don't have to go out and try to avoid going to the restaurants. I hate to say it. It's not worth it. Not to me anymore. Mm-mm. It's not worth it. Mr. Sweet Time, if it's bad enough, then maybe change your whole diet. When I had acid reflux, I changed everything, only tried a few things until I figured out what it was. It was refined sugar. Oh, in the drinks. Okay. My gone lion. Good afternoon. How you doing? And then someone said, yes, restaurant food is terrible. Not all of it is terrible, but it shouldn't be our food staple. Some people eat out every day. I noticed when we were locked down at our supermarket is HEB, and they had prepared food. And the prepared food out, all of it was gone because all the restaurants were closed, right? All of the fast food, I mean not fast food, the prepared foods, the box foods that were like, I call them TV dinners. That's an old word. They were all gone. Some people do not cook. The kitchens are immaculate because they don't cook. You go in there and it looks pristine because they don't cook anything. They may use the microwave every now and then. Some people don't even do that. They eat out every day, costing them a lot of money. And it's most likely, if it's not quality food, you're going to end up paying for it with your health. You are. Yeah, some people say someone said that they prefer home food. I I prefer people who can cook home food because I have ate some food where no seasoning, none. Everybody ain't the same, and they were like, we don't use salt in this house. I was like, oh my god, I don't have high blood pressure, and I understand that, but you got to do something. My neighbor, he was barbecuing some chicken breast. He used very little salt, but he seasoned it so well that he didn't need to put salt on it. So you can use other seasonings besides salt. He didn't put nothing on there. Nothing. They like the taste of meat. Mr. Sweet Tom says I prefer to cook for myself. Hard to be mad at me. Yeah, and you know what you're doing. I don't like cooking, but I trust me. Well, anyway, if someone says to me, "Well, before this is what gets me," they say, "Before I eat from anybody, I gotta know what their kitchen look like." And I'm like, "Shoot, I ain't cooking nothing. I ain't cooking nothing. I don't even want to cook for myself. It's just you. You ain't doing me no favor. Give me work. I will cook for myself though, but I don't like it, and I'm good at it. I'm good at it because that was my job as a little girl. From little girl, I've been cooking. That was my job in the house. To initially was to prep the food, and then they taught me how to cook, and that was what I did in my teenage years, and I've been cooking ever since. But I don't enjoy it, but I what I enjoy less is getting sick or eating bad food, food that somebody don't know how to cook. Mr. Sweet Tom, I enjoy cooking, want to get back to my cast iron like I used to. That's all I use is cast iron. I have a whole bunch of different pots. I have a whole bunch of different pots, but I mostly use my cast iron because it's safer. All that sprayed on stuff, the non-stick pans, they finding out that that stuff, what is it, PFABs or something? They're finding all kind of stuff it's giving people problems. So I have a few of those non-stick pans, but I'm gonna toss them out because they're no good for you. I cook on the cast iron because I was like, I'll never have an iron deficiency because I know there's iron in my food every time I cook. Anyway, y'all, I planted all of these seeds. Remember to harvest your own seeds. Buy the plant once and try to get as much from it as you can. Because you're gonna realize you're gonna get about 50 plus seeds in an okra pot. That's just what they have. We're spending money on that too. And these seeds packets are costing what, $4 each now? A good seed come like, or yeah. Okra seeds are gonna run you about $4. The gardening zebra. As the youngest of 9 children, we only ate out for our birthday. Unfortunately, I was born around Thanksgiving, so I never got to eat out. They did you a favor. They saved you a lot of, well, I mean, eating out is a treat, right? Sometimes, unless it makes you sick, then it's not a treat anymore. Don't be lazy like Miss Jamerica was last night. Don't. Word to the wise. Learn from me. Don't do it. Grow your own food or try to grow as much as you can. Even if you're in an apartment, you can grow some stuff. See that stand right there? That's a grow stand. You could grow lettuce. You grow a lot of things on that joker. A lot with those just a little shop lights. It's really no excuse. People say I can't grow because I don't have a house. Mm-mm. That's not good. That's not a good reason. That's not a good reason. I don't accept that. There's a lot of stuff you can grow. A lot of stuff you can grow on that little grow station. There's people in Alaska that's growing in their garage. We make a lot of excuses um to not do anything. You'd be like, oh, I'm gonna wait until I get some land. I'm gonna wait till I do that. But how you gonna do that if you first of all you don't have the stamina to do it unless you've been going to the gym. Second of all, your skills are off because and the older you get, the harder it is for you to move around if you're not moving around. Gardening is exercise. And it's a learning curve. Every seed is not the same. Some are real easy, like okra. Okra needs heat, like 75 degrees. It'll start popping up real quick. It won't grow. I think the soil temperature has to be about 55, 60. You got to learn the seed. And if you don't practice, you ain't going to know. And then you got to go through the learning curve, but at least you're trying. But some people always, I mean, they always have an excuse for everything. They don't have not one plant in their house. It don't make no sense to me. But everybody's not the same. Some people can survive because that's how they've been living. If your body is used to eating a bunch of junk food, you ain't going to be affected by it. But me, apparently not. They said, this is not real chicken. Get rid of it. Be gone. Miss Sweet Time. It doesn't have to say grow light to grow plants. And right, if you don't try, you don't know. Those are shop lights. Plant don't know the difference between a grow light and a shop light, and grow lights are expensive. Shop lights are not. They're not as expensive. Everything's going up nowadays. But that's like a one-time purchase. You'll have that grow light for a couple of years if you take care of it and you don't let water run on top of it like I did one of mine. Anyway, y'all, this has been the planting of my favorite crop. And my favorite crop, and I got 48 of them. More than 48, because I put two to three seeds in of okra because that's what I like to eat. Grow what you like to eat. Don't just grow if you have room. Grow for your fat or grow what you want to grow. But mainly, I recommend you grow what you eat. That's the only way you're gonna get something out of it. You're gonna enjoy it more. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I thank everybody for being with me. I just wanted to bring you on for this, and I want to share my experience of that chicken incident. Y'all know I got a bunch of chickens. That's the last thing I should be buying. Somebody's what is it? What did I want to call it? Faulty fried chicken. You gonna drop some seeds right now, Mr. Sweet Time? All right, you and me both. You and me both. I can't wait till these come up. This is a heat crop, by the way. Don't plant it till it's warm. Okra don't like cold. Okra won't come up if it's cold. So I've talked enough. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life, and this is the planting of my favorite crop, okra. Let's get it planted. Those of you up north, go ahead and start them inside so you get a head start because you ain't got a big season. I thank everybody for being with me, and I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, bye, y'all.